Dee 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 dee. Keto living is the life for me. Coffee, cooking, and recipes. Spending my days with my doggies. So be a sport. Set your alarm for Wednesdays for the Warden's Report.
Canada coffee mug here. Same coffee. It's delicious. In fact, come here, just between me and you. He normally makes me coffee every morning, except if I tell him, hey, I'm doing a water fast. And even then, sometimes he forgets, which is fine. Never going to cry over coffee, right? So anyways, I go on my break after our big meeting this morning, and I go in there to make my coffee, and there's no coffee. I was so sad. And I was like, what happened? Why is there no coffee? Is he mad at me? What did I do? So anyway, on break, I was like, are you mad at me? And he was like, no, why? Which, of course, I knew he wouldn't be. But he was like, I told him, I said, well, because you didn't make me coffee. He like almost jumped. He was like, oh, man. Oh, dang it. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Isn't that cute? And he was like, do I need to go start on it now? And I know he's on his work break. So I'm like, no, I already started. But I just thought it was cute. Oh, it's so good. I love this big old mug here because it holds all of my coffee. I don't have to do 2 cups. So I could say I'm only drinking a cup of coffee. So yes, everything is going great, y'all. I hope you're having a wonderful new week. I'm starting to see, oh, hold on. Sorry. Some solicitor. Let me know this. Do you get calls all the time about solar panels? I swear they call 2 or 3 times a day. I'm on the do not call list. I don't even think that works, but somebody told me that. And I just get constantly just calls. Oh, we're putting in solar for your neighborhood. Please just stop. So anyhow, yes, that is what is going on, y'all. It's another week. I'm reading the comments as they come in. That just makes me so excited. I love reading y'all's comments and feedback. And I was listening to Psychology and Money. So that's the book I'm listening to. And they brought up, they have some good stories in there. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But they were talking about how, if you make a financial error, the difference is, someone who is wealthy or creating wealth, right? I figure in the creating wealth bucket, they don't dwell on mistakes, right? You just, hey, we all make financial mistakes. We've all made in the past financial mistakes. We're probably going to make financial mistakes in the future, right? As they were talking in that Psychology of Money, when you think about it, 401ks and savings and investment, that's really a new thought process for us. Because like the 401ks were started in 1978, which in my opinion was just maybe 29 years ago. It really wasn't that long ago. And some people will be like, ooh, 78. But it was not that long ago. It just wasn't. Let's not do the math. Don't be figuring how many long ago that was. We're not going to do that. Let's just say it was not that long ago. And it's like, so we know with that and other savings and even the stocks and everything, when you think of human history, it's really not that long of a history. So we are kind of all winging it, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out this whole money thing and how to do it and how to save and all that. Because like they were talking about even the history of Social Security. Like that was a new thing. Retirement was a new thing. Back in I think it was the 30s, people didn't retire. Like you just worked until you died. And so it's really a new phenomenon of but it's just that new thought of, oh, like retiring. And then some of y'all might have heard of FIRE, and that's when you retire even earlier than say 65, 70 range. So that is interesting. So kind of circling back here. So when it comes to, mistakes, and I was like, you know what, again, Ramit Sethi made the parallel as well, and I've seen it too. Food and finances are so similar. And I'm like, yeah, in our health journey, we're going to make mistakes. We've probably made mistakes in the past. Like if you're like, oh, I can't believe I didn't do this sooner. I wished I'd known this to help, my parents, my sister, my, spouse or anything. It's the past. We all have made mistakes. And when it comes to nutrition, it is also something very new, because before 100 years ago, people weren't concerned with nutrition. They were really concerned with just being able to eat and survive and not starve. And so they weren't, like, oh, okay, I got to have this much avocado and I got to go get MCT. No, they were like, okay, I hope I could get some eggs and bacon this week, right? And some of us, that's still kind of the case. But what I want to hone in on is we might make mistakes. You might make health mistakes on your journey. That can happen. I feel like none of us are perfect, right? We are not perfect beings. We might strive for perfection. We're never going to reach perfection. So don't feel like you need to hold yourself to the status of perfection. Oh, I have to be this. Oh my gosh, I went out to eat and I got seed oils. I have seen people who will freak out over that, who will, almost have a meltdown because they went somewhere and they thought they got something and then later found out it had wheat flour in it or whatever. Or they went to a family and function and they were like, oh yeah, I made sure it was keto, because that person didn't understand, and then found out, oh, well, they used margarine instead of butter because they thought they were helping, right? Just things like that. Mistakes will happen, whether it's on you or not. Even if you make the mistake and you're like, you know what, I was just having one of those days and I just decided to drive through and got me, a Big Mac or whatever, and I just had one of those days, or it's just been so stressful, or this happened, or that happened, or I just couldn't help it. I just started snacking, didn't even realize it. I was just blacked out for a moment, and next thing I know, I had somehow a bag of chips or something, right? It's okay. It's okay. We all will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. I know I've made mistakes. I never claim I'm perfect, right? I strive for it, but I know I'm not perfect. It's okay. Successful people don't dwell on mistakes. They don't go, well, I did that, and just think about it forever. You acknowledge it, and you're like, you know what? I did that. That happened. Or, whoops, went somewhere and had something I didn't want, but you know what? It's done. It's over with, right? It's done with. Now I'm just going to move forward and strive to do better today. So that's just my message for you today. Welcome to HungryHeath and to the Warden Report. If you're new here, go ahead, if you can right now, hit that subscribe button. Even if you are a current subscriber or think you are, double check that you are indeed subscribed and the bell notifications are on. So I'm still hearing that they are still unsubscribing people. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you are subscribed. Really appreciate that. But that's what we do here. I just want to encourage you that it's okay. We're not perfect beings. If you made a mistake, move forward. Don't live in that mistake. It is behind you. Move forward, and you will be so much further ahead by moving forward than dwelling on the past. Lunch today, and it is, oh wow, it's 2:30. So I've got my kefir with the chia seeds that sat in the fridge for over an hour. And then I have an Auntie Shauna pasta plate, or Auntie Pasta Shauna plate. I think that's the correct way. So basically what I've got here is, of course, my avocado, some cucumbers, olives. Well, I guess technically these are pickles, olives. And then I've got my fermented Texas kraut, which we have a recipe to. And then I also have another one, which we haven't put out the recipe yet, but it is a cucumber kimchi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. Technically, it's not ready. The pH is good enough to eat it, but it should go another 2 to 3 days just to get it nice and sour. It's still very spicy forward instead of sourness to it. So hopefully in a couple more days, hopefully on the Friday night feast. And then some pepperoni and cheese. I decided for dinner I wanted some curry from a local Thai restaurant, and it's made with coconut milk. And I added the meat of chicken and no rice, so it's just the veggies in here. What is that? Oh, peanuts. There's peanuts in it. That's what I see. I was like, is that a bean? No, it's peanuts. That's right. And yeah, so veggies, peanuts, and chicken. Oh, doesn't that look so good? And then I've got this. Heath and I agreed is the best sparkling water we have ever had. And it's Aldi brand Bellevue. It is really the most tasty sparkling water. It is amazing. But I think it was limited time. Can't find it anywhere else. Lunch today, and it's already after 2. And I'm having a, look how small this avocado is, y'all. This tiny avocado. So a small avocado with some seasoning and olive oil. I tried it in the air fryer, the Pernell sausage, so we'll see how that goes. Some of our homemade avocado mayo, and then some of our homemade Texas kraut. And I am finishing up this book. I've only got, 37 minutes left, and then I'm done. Dinner Thursday evening. I have a ham steak. Let's see if you can see it at all. Ham steak topped with some veggies, just mushroom, onion, and jalapeno bits. 2 fried eggs. And then I've got here our stuffies. And then we had to eat this asparagus. So I just pan-seared it. I know it looks a little overdone, but they're really thick. Pan-seared it with some butter and olive oil and seasonings. I'm hoping it's really good. And I added just a splash of lemon juice. Oh, Heath gives it a thumbs up.
If you don't like it, you can pass it over here.
And then an avocado. And I have some Texas, no, this is just our carrot kraut. And then I've got that sparkling water. Happy Friday! Got my mug here, got the heavy cream, MCT, and butter, y'all. It is really good. Enjoying this Friday. Things are going great. I hope your week went as wonderfully as well. And I hope your Friday goes swiftly for you. So looking forward to tonight, to the Friday night feast. Excited. Friday lunch, I'm back to my salad, y'all. So I got radicchio, some bacon bits, and then I've got my different ferments on top and olives, and of course an avocado. So I'm going to start with the avocado. That's usually what I do. and then getting really excited for the Friday night feast. Saturday lunch, I've got another one of my salads. The only thing difference is I have my cucumber kimchi, and then I also got some discounted hard salami at Kroger today. And then you're probably like, wow, that is a bigger avocado, because it is. The Kroger also had their, I think they call them medium, but to me these are almost a large avocados for 88 cents, so I grabbed a couple. And I want to do a special shout out and very much appreciate you to Sherry and Meg. Got my coffee and Heath's double ring bro. Thank you both so very much for doing the buy me a coffee. So thanks for supporting our drinking habit. Really, really appreciate y'all for thinking of us and for doing that. Thank you so very much for that, Sherry and Meg. Thank you both. If you want to support our drinking habit, just click on that link down below for Buy Me a Coffee. And we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Saturday night supper. We're doing a test batch for the upcoming Friday night feast. We made some spicy shrimp empanadas. Look at the inside of that, y'all. Don't that look divine? And then, of course, we had to do our stuffies as well.
Mad. What I've got here is a couple hamburger patties, and it's considered a smothered steak. So I made a brown gravy. It's an onion mushroom gravy, and then had it simmering in that for, oh, good 10-15 minutes after I seared them off. So I always sear my hamburgers first, put them to the side, make my gravy, add them to the gravy, and let them swim. And then I have a stuffed jalapeno, there's stuffed mushrooms, and then I've got our, it's not pork belly since we didn't get any, but I have bacon Brussels sprouts that I did. And it's also got tomato and some 1,008-day aged sharp white cheddar on top. And then I gotta have my mashed avocado. And that's my mad today. Blah. Happy Monday. I got my coffee here. It's already afternoon. So I'm working on this kind of real in-depth thing at work. So the goal is to have it done by 11. Down to my last 3, and then I'll be done. It's almost there. And there's always, like, it's a problem child, right? So once it's done, I'm waiting on trying to work with somebody else here, figure out how we fix these. It's a mess. But anyways, that's what's going on today. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Like, I'm really excited for this week. I cannot believe it is March already. Like, how did that happen? So yeah, everything's going well. Sorry I didn't check in too much this weekend, but I gotta get back to work. But I will talk to you later. I am fasting today, so this is basically all I'm having is this cup of coffee, just a cup of coffee, and that'll be it today. The rest of the day will be water, but other than that, it's going well. Happy Tuesday. Got my cup of coffee. It's already afternoon. This project thing, the goal is 11 a.m., but today was much busier than yesterday, but I should be finishing up soon. So, I mean, it's fine. They kind of expect this, especially when you're new at it, but, you know, I have my goals and I try to reach them. So, yes, I'm enjoying my coffee. The only thing different I did is I added a packet of the Element chocolate. It is good. And let me see. Oh, Delilah's been with me lately, y'all. Hey, Delilah. She's like, I'm asleep. Don't bother me. But yes, so Delilah has been staying with me the last couple of days. And I hear Heath is in there eating his lunch, so that's where Sam is. He's like, I heard food, so I need to go be part of that, right? And yeah, so everything is going well. Heath is enjoying today, starting to already plan the Columbus trip for next year, so that'll be fun. And so he's just like looking up places to eat, looking up, you know, different hotels, all that stuff. And it makes him happy. So go right ahead. It's a year out, but. So, yeah. And then I realized, oh my gosh, y'all, a week from now I have jury duty. And they said that parking is limited, the free parking anyways, which is what I want. And that, but my scheduled time is 12:30. So should I get there early to make sure I get a free parking spot? But then I don't want to be sitting around for hours because I could sleep in that day. What do y'all think? What should I do? It's so annoying. And it's downtown Houston, so it's a mess anyway. So I don't know. Maybe they have a group that goes in at 8 in the morning and they'll be gone. And so the afternoon people will have a spot. I don't know. What do y'all think? So yeah, enjoying my coffee today. There was something I wanted to ask y'all, but now I can't even remember. So, but yeah, that's everything that's going on right now. I'll probably check in with you in a little bit. I will be having my salad. I can't wait for that. You know, the temperatures are heating back up in the 80s, but thankfully the AC's working. So let's just keep that going and we're good to go. Sometimes it's a little chilly, but overall I'm happy. And then today I will be speaking with the insulation, the attic insulation guys, and trying to get that all scheduled. So that's exciting. So hopefully we'll have that done before the end of the month. Wouldn't that be nice? And then from there, we should be golden. So I remember what I was going to talk about. And this might be the title or part of the title. Anyways, I was listening to Mindy Pels, right? Because I like her because she does talk a lot more about probiotics, prebiotics, polyphenols. So I get a lot of information from her in regards to that, right? So I would consider myself more of a ketobiotic, right? I really make sure, or I do my best at every meal that I eat, that I have a good source of like fiber, some of which are like prebiotics, and then make sure I get my probiotics and my polyphenols. Try to make sure I have all three of those on my plate, so to speak. So that's why salad works so wonderfully, because polyphenols like garlic and olives in there. My prebiotic, like a radicchio, other veggies I might add to it. And then my probiotics, which are mostly my fermented foods, all in there. And then I forgot avocado. So avocado, I believe, is both a prebiotic and a polyphenol, but somebody correct me. But anyway, so I try to focus on that. That's why I eat, you know, a lot of olives and so forth. So she was mentioning, and I'm excited to hear where you fall. She was interviewing someone who was talking about the importance of, you know, like veggies and kind of preloading your meal with some type of veggies. Because she said, you know, look at different cultures. They, like in Italy, and I think the Spanish do this as well. They have like an antipasta plate, which is usually some kind of roasted veggies or different veggies there you eat before your meal. I know a lot of like steakhouses, you have a salad before your meal. She brought up in India, they have like this herb dish that you eat first. And she brought up, oh, in France, because the lady she was speaking to is French. So, you know, I'm a little biased. But anyways, she was saying in France, they have a crudité, which is raw veggies. And I have to say, I love me a good crudité. Like, I guess growing up, even though my mom was never French, right? I get the French side from my father's side. She enjoyed, like, she would make me, it would be my snack, you know, when I got home from school, you know, before dinner, I would have like celery and carrots. In fact, I ate so many carrots, my nose turned orange, right? So, but I love me a good crudité to have like a little veggie, fresh veggies, you know, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, all of those, celery, and all of that. Like I can munch on that before a meal. And it got me to thinking, hearing about this, I was like, yeah, if you think about it, a lot of like if you go to a sit down restaurant, usually have some type of veggie course first. So typically, I find the most common in the US is a salad, like a house salad. And some house salads will be very plain, like it's just iceberg lettuce, maybe tomatoes, right? And other ones will have like a cucumber. Let's see, I'm trying to think of the one we got last week at Ringo's. It had cucumber, radish, tomatoes, a little bit of carrots, and it was like a mix of greens. So I probably, of course, usually iceberg and maybe some romaine or something mixed in, right? And I'm thinking, I guess that was it in their salad. So some salads, you know, you do get a good variety, and it got me to thinking, like, maybe that is something I would try, is to have. And when we first went keto, because before keto, it was always, when we, you know, cooked, of course, we would always have like a salad and then the entree. That's just how we were, right? And so when we first started keto, we still did that because we were still in that mindset of, you know, you got to have your salad and then your meat and two sides type of idea. And then as things evolved, we got to where it was just like, oh, we're not going to waste a carb on a salad. But now I'm trying to rethink, and maybe that did have an important impact on our gut health at the beginning. So that might be something we're going to try to incorporate, you know, especially with like dinner, is having a salad first and then our entree. What do y'all think about that? And then trying to change up the salad. So, long time to get to a point here. So they were talking about that, and she was mentioning, Dr. Pell said, you really want to have, are you ready for this? 50 different plant items a week. A week, not a year, not a month, a week. And so that could be, you know, olives. It could also be, you know, garlic and ginger and nuts. And then, of course, all the veggies and fruit. And I was like, oh my gosh, how many do we eat? Different, right? Not servings, different veggies in order to optimize your gut health. Because she said that whenever they've done gut microbiome research, that people who are overweight have a very limited gut flora, meaning they eat very limited foods that would make the gut flora prosper, right? So you need a variety of different fibers or plants in order to grow that. And I was like, okay, how many do we eat different? And when I did the list, and I want to hear, comment below how many different ones you think you eat in a week. Like, I made a list, right? And my list went to 15. 15. I'm like, okay, we're not even halfway there. So what do you think about that? Do you feel like that's just way too much? Like, I'm like, oh my. Like, and she talked about a salad's a great way of doing it, because if you get like a mixed salad where it's got like 3 or 4, maybe 5 different types of greens in it, which, you know, I know you could do the bagged salad mixes that have the variety. I was like, well, I mean, that would be one way of doing it. And then, you know, incorporating, I mean, we do eat pecans and walnuts, but not on a consistent basis. And that, and then putting cucumber and, you know, the other vegetables. Like, I'm like 50. Oh, I don't know. What do y'all think? Maybe I'm just like out of the loop here. I just feel like that's a huge number. What do y'all think? I need to know your opinions. Is she just like way off of the ballpark? Like, is she just so disconnected? Because, like, I was listening to one today, and again, I listen to a lot of different people from a whole spectrum of groups, and, you know, I some things I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great for you. Like, she was talking about stress and burnout, and she was like, oh, and I've got this coach, and I've got this person and that person. This person helps me with sleep, and this person helps with my mental, and this person helps with my hormones, and this person helps with my exercise. I was like, okay, first of all, that's a lot of money. Okay, that's the first thing I think of is each of those people you're paying for. And she was like, and I meet with them once a week. And I'm like, money and time. Like, how am I going to meet with 5 to 6 different professionals to go over all of my lifestyle, everything, top to bottom, and have the funds to pay them on a weekly basis? Like, how much is that? And who has the time? Like, she was like, oh, you know, my time and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, if you're meeting 5 to 6 people alone every week to discuss whatever part of it is that you need help with, I mean, that's a lot. Am I out of bounds here? Tell me. Maybe I'm just like too cheap. And I know cheap isn't always the best thing, but I was just like, okay, that is a lot. And I feel like that's a bit elitist. Like, do you really, again, correct me if I am wrong, but I don't feel like the average person that works a job, like a full-time job, or even if you're an entrepreneur, do you have the time and resources to have 5 to 6 different type coaches? Because, like, one's hormones, one's stress, one's sleep, one's mental, one's something else, exercise, I don't know. Do you have the time and money, the average person, to do that? Because to me, I was just like, okay, that's great for you that you have all of those professional coaches to help you on all those things to keep your stress low and to prevent burnout. But I feel like the average person, and we have each other, right? Like, I don't feel like I'm going to be, I mean, I do have a coach and I check in once a week for, 2 or 3 minutes, but on average, am I going to, and she's just kind of like, it's not one specific little thing. And I feel like that just seems overboard to me. Let me know. I just was like, okay, that's a bit much. And to have that recommendation, oh, if you're experiencing burnout or high stress, this is what you do. I'm like, yeah, I don't think your average person is going to be able to do that because of those 2 reasons, money and time. I don't think your average person can do all of that. So let's, that's great where you are and that's what you're doing. But, sometimes you need to step back down a couple notches and think of your average viewer. Or maybe I'm just crazy because I've seen some of her programs where she's like, oh, join this, join that. And I'm like, or get this test. Like, she was like, get a gut zoomer test. You know how much that test is? That's like $500. Not going to do it. I don't need somebody to handle my poop for $500. Like, they should be paying me. So sometimes and I've seen this on other channels and doctors and stuff, and I'm like, I feel like you're a little bit that maybe in your sphere or whatever, when you're going to different conferences and stuff, maybe you have that, maybe they have that keeping up with the Joneses effect. Like, they're like, oh, I go to this conference, we'll just keep it keto here. So I know there's other, things. But anyways, they're like, oh, I go to this keto conference and I saw so-and-so does this, this, and this. Well, now I have to do this and this and this. Like, it's like this competition to get the same as all the other people, all the other speakers they're with, where they feel like, well, they should be doing that too if the other speakers are doing that, or the other influencers are doing that. Well, they need to do that too. And I feel like sometimes, and this is strictly my opinion, I can't wait to read yours, but I feel like sometimes different influencers and speakers and knowledge people in general get a little bit out of touch with the average person. Am I wrong? Let me know. Because some of the things I hear or that are recommended or you should do, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I work 5 days a week, just my main job, plus I have the, the YouTube and everything else. I'm like, okay, and I've tried to, learn a lot, y'all know, on my financial journey as well. I'm like, how do you, and she probably has a financial coach too, so let's just put it out there. So, yes, sometimes I just hear these ideas or tips or hacks, and I'm like, okay, you're really reaching, you're really pushing it beyond, I think, what the average person can do or wants to do. So let me know. I know that the past couple of weeks been a little bit shorter on the Warden Report, so here's my little rant for the week. I can't wait to hear all of your comments. What have you seen in the different, like, am I looking at things maybe wrong? Like, what are you seeing in the keto sphere, or, from others out there, and what are your thoughts on it? Like, does it seem like sometimes some people are getting a little out of touch with their average person? Let me know. And I can't wait to see how many different plant products, or foods rather, do you eat in a week? Because maybe I'm just really low. Maybe 15 is way too low, and y'all are like rock stars. So I can't wait to hear, either make me feel good about, okay, I'm not so low on it, or, maybe it's like, okay, Shelly, you need to up your game. Let me know. Lunch today, I've got the salad again. The meat I used was the salami I got this weekend, and I've got some cheese in there. But you kind of see I've got a variety of foods here, like 4 different ferments, including the cauliflower I fermented, some olives here, cucumbers, like all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, my avocado. And that's my lunch. Dinner tonight, I've got Heath smoked today while I was at work, a prime rib roast. So I've got a little slice of that. And then we took the au jus. We added onions and mushrooms and made a gravy with it. That's what's over it. And then I have a side of bacon Brussels sprouts with some tomatoes and jalapenos. And then I've got my new 2 favorite ferments, which is the red cabbage and the kimchi. And that's dinner tonight. And that's another week of the Warden Report. I hope y'all enjoyed it. As always, I look forward to all of your wonderful comments and those thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up, y'all. It really does help. And thank you so very much for everything that y'all do, for coming back every week and watching my little talks here. I really enjoy it, and I love our discussions down in the chat, so let's keep that going. And please stay tuned to see all of our... Sorry, I think I still have some beef in my teeth. Gotta go brush the teeth. But thank y'all so much, and please stay tuned to see all of our wonderful channel members. Thank y'all so much for all your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are amazing. Can't wait to see y'all at this month's cook along. I was trying to think. I haven't decided on a date yet, but just stay tuned. I will. And if you want to be part of that, hit that join button right there, and you can be part of our channel members. So thank you all so very much. Have a wonderful week. Bye.